Hello and welcome to Day 3 of the Canadian Ultimate Championships here from Surrey, BC. You're joining myself, Lucas Main, and Becky Thompson, who's setting up some cones for us here. We are broadcasting you the Mixed Masters semifinals. The start time, the horn just went off here. It's 10:40 local time on the Pacific Standard Time. For those guys watching in the East Coast, thanks for joining us this afternoon. The team game we have today is between Happy Campers from BC and Donkey from BC as well. Becky, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, that's Swamp Donkey out of BC, and these two teams pretty well matched. They did face off against each other in power pools yesterday, and that one, Happy Campers taking it 15-12. So could be a very good game on our hands here today, Lucas.
I'm getting excited. I know a couple of these players from the Happy Campers team and the Swamp Donkeys. As that throw goes deep to a streaking number 9, Tessa Kenning, who brings it down for the easy 4-pass first point here. Happy Campers coming out on top on their 0 point.
Yeah, Happy Campers looking right away like they're ready for a big show here for us today, going no effort on that deep shot to a streaking wide open receiver.
So yeah, the Happy Campers will be playing in their darks. They're a little bit of a combination of blue and dark and orange, and the Swamp Donkeys will be playing in the pretty standard whites here. You can see on any players to watch out for here today on both teams, Becky?
There's a few, of course, on the Happy Campers team. You gotta watch out for the likes of, and I just lost him on here, but Clayton Howlett. There you go. That's a name to definitely be aware of on this Happy Campers team. But both of these teams, though, Lucas, have quite deep rosters as well. They're not really going to be looking to stars too much throughout the course of this one.
Yeah, and it was Clay Howlett who actually threw that assist there in that last point. So definitely keep your eye out for him. Nightstick giving me the eyes right now. Probably wants something out of me. But Swamp Donkey's going to show us what they've got on offense coming down here as Happy Campers pulls the disc down. Looks like the disc is going to hang by the sideline and finally land out of bounds. So Swamp Donkey's going to pull the disc into the middle of the field here and start from the brick mark.
Come on, Scotty. Here we go, Scotty.
So disc tapped in. Riley Breedel on the mark, setting a backhand force on a right-handed player. Feely feeds the middle of the field. Number 9, Alex Chan, who lets it rip deep. He has a streaking 79. Sean Bernard unable to come down with it. The block by Happy Campers there. A good effort from the receiver, but unable to reel it out.
Yeah, Happy Campers just showing a little bit of their prowess on defense now as well. Not afraid to do it on both sides of the disc here.
And Breedel will be picking up the disc for Happy Campers, a left-handed thrower. A flick force set by Swamp Donkey on a right-handed thrower, so a backhand coming out from Breedel, who sees a number 33 streaking deep. Katie Bergen, she brings it down with a great grab. Centers the disc to Nate Lamb, who launches a flick deep, and it is grabbed by number 3, Kai Sarata in the end zone, and that's an easy second goal for Happy Campers, breaking right off the bat here.
Sarata there, again, making it look pretty easy and pretty simple, as Happy Campers, easy for them to go the full 70 yards after that turnover. No stress on the faces of these players at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I said, Riley Breedel starting with the disc as a left-handed thrower. I talked about it a little bit yesterday with the advantage of having a lefty on your team, especially when teams force flicked for a right-hander. You have that easy the easy backhand for the right-handed player too. So Happy Campers started charging out of the gate here 2-0. If you're just joining us, you're watching two teams from BC in the Mixed Masters Finals here at the Canadian Ultimate Championships from Surrey, BC at the Newton Athletic Park. And we're just fiddling with the volume knobs here. Shocked myself a little bit, but Happy Campers off to a 2-0 start, one break and one hold for them. So Swamp Donkey in the white looking to make their first goal happen here on this point.
See what Swamp Donkey can do coming out of the gate here. Definitely looking for an early response. You don't want to let Happy Campers pull too far ahead. They will be a team who are happy and comfortable once they get that 3-4 point lead to just continue the game as it is.
And number 77 will collect the disc. That's Simon Feely, centered. Flip to the far side. It's number 78, Jeff Sill with the disc, who airs it out over the top of Seeley, who's unable to bring it down. So Happy Campers again on the offensive strike here. Number 45 with the disc, David Beluskin, sorry. Back to the middle of the field. Unintended receiver, Emily McConnell comes up with it, who flips a break side throw. Hanging onto that side of the field. Has a cut come back, but now up the line, and then finally another cut backwards to Colby Smith. Colby Smith throws a flick across the field. 45 dishes it out to Jenny. I can't remember her last name now. Jenny Ware, who able to reel it in. A great grab, sliding on her knees there with the left hand outstretched to pull it in for the third goal.
And you see the way that Happy Campers there as well, just moving the disc so effortlessly around the field until they get those different cuts coming off the front of the stack. Always a new open option no matter where they had the disc on the field.
Yeah, and we saw a trend yesterday of the team TT exposing the break side. Looks like Happy Campers is trying to do the same here, trying to get that break right off the start to get their offense moving. Swamp Donkey, still, that was just that turnover unnecessary. It was a high release backhand over the top of the receiver who didn't really realize it was coming up to him. But hopefully they can tighten their screws and pull this one back together here. 3-0 off the start for Happy Campers.
Happy Campers definitely look in control. They look pretty fired up for this game as well. In their warm-up, they were all focused and intense, had the music going. We were looking like they were pretty loose as well, and you can definitely see that coming out at the start of this one.
Of course, we do have, I don't think he's played just yet, but Danny Saunders, Ultimate Canada Director, playing for Happy Campers. We'll mention his name when he hits the field later, but the disc is centered by Swamp Donkey. Looking at a man defense and a poach block running off there, but there's going to be a call on the play, a foul on the throw. Looks like no contest from number 4 there, Chrissy Thompson. So the Swamp Donkey player will get the disc back in the middle of the field, about 5 yards short of the brick mark. So that's number 44, Lindsay Sill, sorry. And Lindsay Sill, high stall count, has to unleash a backhand up deep. It's floating up, but unable to be collected by number 10 there, who's holding her face, surely so, holding her head or her face after that contact. So there's a bit of discussion here. I think there was contact preventing So from going for that disc on the second opportunity.
Hard for me, though, Lucas, to tell if there was still a play on that disc despite the contact.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I felt like she misread it already, and it was too late to make an adjustment. So a lot of discussion on the field. We have 4 observers for these semifinal games. We'll have 4 observers for the remainder of the day as well. All our games today being semifinals. And the final at the end of the day for the Mixed Masters division. So we'll have 4 observers all day. And they'll be able to confer and hopefully help our players make the calls here.
And our observers today are Naomi Garneau, Brian Bradburn, Vincent Chang, and Nathan Magnus out there on the field making these calls and helping these teams today.
So still not sure what the result is here yet. Looks like there's a couple of subs coming in and out. Yeah. Surely so, opting to take a injury sub after that. But it looks like Swamp Donkey's going to stay with the disc here. Jenny Ware setting a mark. A forced backhand on a right-hand player, and a throw up the line is blocked by Patrick Frisbee there from Happy Campers. A silly throw up the line, but collected easily by the Happy Camper defender. Happy Camper center of the disc. It's number 8, Josh Perina, back to 13, Patty Hill. Back to Patrick Frisbee on the far side, who throws a flick deep to a striking number 14, Scott Craig, who reels it in for the third break and fourth goal for Happy Campers.
And right now, it just looks like Happy Campers have a slight edge with a little bit of their momentum on the field, the way that they seem to be communicating with each other as well. There is no questions about who should be cutting in to get that disc, whereas Swamp Donkey looked a little bit unsure of themselves, especially on that last point, shooting a few discs into some coverage in the lanes as well. So maybe just needing to clean up a little bit of that, gain some confidence here. But Happy Campers very much look like the better team early in this game.
And it looks like we're going to get a timeout finally here from Swamp Donkey, looking to get that momentum timeout in, and hopefully put the brakes on the Happy Campers streak here. So today, again, as with all of our games, we have our couple of sponsors to make a shout out to. So we have VC Clothing, who's provided all the clothing for all the volunteers and people from Ultimate Canada here. They have a booth set up. You can actually see it. It's on the left-hand side of your screen right now, or just beyond the huddle of the Happy Campers group. And so if you're coming down this weekend, today or tomorrow, to come watch the mixed finals tomorrow, you can go check out the VC tent. They got lots of cool swag to come to take away and get some memorabilia for this 2018 Canadian Ultimate Championship. So Becky, you were telling me yesterday that this is the first year that the logo for both mixed and single genders has been the same. So pretty neat that you can get the same kit as you could in Brampton last weekend.
Yeah, it's just a great way to connect both events. This is still the Canadian Ultimate Championship, just held in 2 different locations right now. So good to see them able to bring it together, make it feel more like one event despite the separation of the mixed division from the others.
Yeah, and that's just a result of Ultimate growing big. So good to see that we can have both. And that was actually Danny Saunders, as I was mentioning earlier, with the pull there, Ultimate Canada Director, playing for Happy Campers here. Swamp Donkey centering the disc. It's number 79 with the disc now. Sean Bernard back to 77, Feely. Bernard now throws a break shot to 80. That's Cheng. Cheng back to Bernard. Back to Cheng, working at 1-2, and on the open side here, almost outreach block, but Desham is able to bring it down. She's looking around for a dump now, sees nothing, finally opened up by Feely there, sorry. And Bernard tosses up line to Bernard. Bernard, an easy outside in backhand to Feely. Feely, Bernard looks fakes to the break side. Looking around, the dump is too close. Finally finds an open receiver in the end zone, but a heads-up block by number 2, Emily McConnell, who outstretched hand blocks it away from the Swamp Donkey receiver.
Yeah, making that one look like she baited it a little bit too, aware of the spacing and able to run in and make that play.
And so Happy Campers going to try and march it down the field for the 5th time here. Riley Breedle back to Nate Lamb. Lamb, inside throw to 34. Back to Kenning. Saunders now at the disc in the center of the field. A flick force, and he throws a flick deep to Kenning, who's striking deep after she dished it back. She's got it. She's reeled it in. She has two strikers going into the end zone, and 3 or 4, now 5 people behind her. Finally dishes it back to Saunders. Saunders fakes flick to the open side. Fakes a backhand now, still looking into the end zone, and just out of the reach of an outstretched number 38 there, Amy Matchin.
Yeah, and the stall count was climbing a little bit there as well, so I think Saunders still wanting to get that reset, unfortunately just not quite executed there.
And just a little bit too far out of Matchin's hand, unable to reel it in. So here we go, Swamp Donkey again on offense, looking to get their first point of the game. Feely with the disc now. Feely looking around, not seeing anything he likes, so he throws a blady flick, but it's going to be brought down by Bernard. Bernard, backhand around to Wiley. Wiley back to Bernard now. Wiley backs up a little bit. She has it in her hands. Flick around to Deschamps. Deschamps not in as signaled by the observer, but a quick dish to Feely. That's in this time, and here we go. We finally have Swamp Donkey on the board. Oh, never mind. Now it's in. Sorry, the observer, when I looked down, the observer had put his hands in the air, but disagreement from the 2 observers watching the end zone line there. And now there's still a call in play.
Yeah, it looks like just a discussion, I think, there. The not in called, and then maybe a travel called on the thrower who went to move it quickly after they ruled that it wasn't in.
So yeah, we have 2 observers on the far sideline and 2 observers on the near sideline now watching the play. So Stahl's coming in on 1. Feely with the disc. Lots of players around him. Throws a high release. Push pass, but it's... Yeah, there's going to be a call on that play. There was a lot of contact going into the grab. Never mind, it's taken back. And Saunders to pick up the disc for Happy Campers. Swamp Donkey unable to get it in while knocking on the door. Swing across to Lamb. Lamb hits McConnell. McConnell to Breedle. Breedle now looking for an outlet. Finally sees it in Saunders. Loss of 10 yards or so. Saunders back to Breedle in center of the field now, who unleashes a backhand upfield. It's going to be just out of the reach of a streaking Nathan Lamb. That was a low throw, Becky.
A very low throw. Nathan Lamb did have a lot of separation, so always good to see those throws out in front of your receiver rather than floating, but just a little bit too much spin on it as it goes to the ground.
And Deschamps able to wrangle that away from Kenning there. And a miscue from Bernard to Feely. Feely unsure he was getting the disc and not prepared for it. Nate Lamb picks the disc up and immediately taps it to signal a timeout.
Yeah, one of the longer points that we've seen here in this game so far. So I think Lamb there just wanting to make sure that the Happy Campers here can settle it down, look to increase their lead to 5 points.
Yeah, and let's say I can give you a bit of background on a couple of these players. So Nathan Land, the one who called the timeout there, he used to play in the MLU with the Nighthawks. He was a figurehead on the defensive line there. He's one of those players who's not hesitant to get horizontal and put his body on the line. I'm not sure now if it's the same, if it's playing Masters, if he still does the same damage he used to do to his body. I haven't seen him play in a couple of years, but. And then we have, like we said as well, so we have Clay Howlett to look out for, as well as Riley Breedle, who I actually played with last year on Blackfish in the Open Division. We called him Grand Elf because he was the oldest player on our team by 10 years. I believe he's 38 now this year, and he was playing with a bunch of kids, 20, 22, 23 years old. So good to see he's finally moved on to the Masters Division. But Happy Campers setting up in what looks like is probably going to be a vertical stack with Nate Lamb having the disc, Riley Breedle off to his left as his dump, Danny Saunders setting the front of the stack, Tessa Canning behind him. Swamp Donkey's going to have number 80 set the mark, Nick Cheng here. It's going to be a flick mark for the right-handed player. Everyone's set, and we're getting the disc tapped in. Nate hits an easier round to Saunders, who again dishes it to McConnell, and that's it. 2 passes, and we have a goal.
Making it look, again, so simple, and McConnell having no problems getting open in this game at all. We haven't seen her necessarily come under for the disc a ton, not saying her name every other pass yet, but regardless of that, on the field, watching her, you watch it off the disc, she is always open on her defender and continuously moving as well, not really taking any breaks out there, getting open deep or under. So I'm really impressed with the cuts from McConnell here so far.
Yeah, and I don't want to credit McConnell for getting open, but it looked like the Swamp Donkey defense, even though they were set coming out of the timeout there, just stagnant. Nothing really. 2 open side throws easily completed for the Happy Campers.
So yesterday in Power Pools, these 2 teams did face off against each other. Of course, the Happy Campers won that one 15-12, but a closer game there. Back in July at BC Regionals, Happy Campers won this by quite a bit. I don't know the actual score. When I asked Swamp Donkey about it before the game, they just said it was a lot. So currently in a similar position maybe to Regionals, but plenty of time still to keep this one back within their reach.
Yeah, and you don't want to let it go. This is a semifinal here. I mean, I would be looking to dig your head out of the ground a little bit and maybe make some plays, make it happen. But yeah, as with our games yesterday, today we're also going to do a fan player of the game. So if you're watching at home, you can tweet at us using the hashtag CUC Surrey and give us a player pick who you want to see the player win the MVP or the fan player of the game, and we're going to hand out a pair of Layout Ultimate gloves, branded with the Ultimate Canada colors and logo. So let us know. It's hashtag CUC, sorry. You can also tweet at myself and Becky. Becky's handle is at RJ_Thompson16, and myself is at Lucas Main. So Swamp Donkey looking to get their first point of the game here. A break side throw to number 9. That's Alex Chan with the disc, who centers it. Back to Jorgensen. Ooh, sorry, that was Vandermeer. Vandermeer now across the 13 Bows. Bows. So now back on the field after injury earlier. Centers the disc. A bit of bump there from Serrato, and there's going to be an injury call on the play as he's reeling around on the ground.
Yeah,
So
it looked like maybe an ankle there.
And sorry, I pronounced his last name wrong. It's Serrata, not Serrato. My apologies. Seb strolls off the field. Looks like he's doing it on his own steam. Looked after by a couple of his teammates. Swamp Donkey's still going to have the disc. It is going to move backwards to where the injury was called. So Vandermeer to pick the disc up for Swamp Donkey. He's looking into the eye of his defender, gets a cut up the line. He hits it for Chan. Chan with the disc now. Centers it. It's a high throw. Bailed out there by 78 Jeff Sill, who dishes it away again. Cuts up the line. Sill with the disc now, about 10 yards out of the end zone line. Centered the disc to 30. It's Jorgensen. Jorgensen to 9 to Chan. Chan with the disc. A bail cut again from Sill. Sill still hanging on to the disc. Finally swings it across. So she's holding on to it as well. No one really cutting up field for the Swamp Donkey. As a result, they throw it straight into a defender. And Happy Camper is back on offense now.
And gifting it back there as well, Lucas. Happy Campers not having to work that hard to get this D. They're putting on a lot of pressure defense, but Swamp Donkey right now making a lot of their own mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely not making it difficult for the Happy Campers here. As the disc gets swung to the center of the field. Back across to Hill now. Hill with the disc. She puts it back onto the sideline to Hamilton, who swings it into the center again now with Smith. Smith. Craig. A backhand around. It's a bit high, but oh, just out of the reach of number 19. Or sorry. Number 13, Hill. And a scuba over the top from Chan here is not even close. And Happy Campers will have another chance here. Swamp Donkey just generating their own mistakes.
And an interesting decision on that one as well, to opt for the scuba on the near sideline on such a tight angle. That disc thrown too far ahead, but still not necessarily the decision that I would want to see players going for at this point in a semifinal match.
Yeah, especially with that emphasis on semifinals here. Maybe do that in the first round of pool play, but Happy Campers happy to take the disc back, but and they themselves have a bit of a miscue there. Smith unable to make that pancake grab.
Yeah, we're seeing the first time that Happy Campers have had made more than one mistake in a point. We've seen a few mistakes from them, but not multiple in the same point until right now.
And Chan tries to throw one out for 78 there. Jeff Sill, who's unable to get the layout grab, and again a quick turnover from Swamp Donkey. So the observer with his hand out indicating the number of seconds to bring the disc back into play. It's brought in on the end zone cone for Happy Campers. Stuck there, it looks like. Finally an outlet to Smith. Smith losing a little bit of yards, throws it up the line. 13 John Bowes, I think. It's let go upfield, but brought down by 24 Lindsay Sill. So Lindsay Sill fires it up the line now to Chan. Chan fakes scuba, looks to the middle of the field. He has Feely. Feely reels it out of the air. He looks up into the lanes with nothing happening for him either. Now looking for a bail. Chan providing that outlet across the field. And there's a pick called.
This is definitely the longest point we've seen so far in this game. Both of these teams looking a little bit less sure of themselves and making a lot of unforced errors here.
Yeah, with fakes to the scuba, which we saw already didn't work for Chan here. Maybe make an adjustment on that side as well, but Swamp Donkey, Feely now throwing it out to, and out of the laying out there, number 30. That was Mika Jorgensen, who unable to bring up another disc.
Unable to get to that one, but I do like seeing that kind of effort put out on this point here, making it feel a little bit more intense and really putting their bodies on the line to get to these discs as well. It's definitely what Swamp Donkey is going to need to do if they're going to be able to overcome this 5-point lead that Happy Campers currently have.
Like you said, effort this late into this long point too. It's tough. Happy Campers has Ware going deep, and she's going to reel that one in. Dish back to the middle to Smith, who looks for a deep shot, and he's going to unleash it. Has one of their taller players striking under it, and that's brought down by number 79, Ian Hamilton, to end this marathon point.
Happy Campers taking advantage again, and surprising almost to see them come out on top in that point. Swamp Donkey was able to work it down so close to the end zone, but again, making their own mistakes and really causing these turnovers for themselves here. Happy Campers are applying pressure, but in my opinion, not enough to not be able to find the open options with a good throw on this field.
We do appreciate the effort, though, from I think it was Jorgensen there who laid out for Swamp Donkey. I know it's a long point, unable to bring it up, and well, that's what you got to do. Yeah, just grind and dig deep, and all those other sports metaphors you can look for. But
could be very cliche here for us right now, Lucas, but it is true. At this point, the team who is going to be able to really grind it out is the team who's going to come out on top, especially in a situation where the Campers are now up by 6 points.
Yeah, long tournament, long tournament, long games, long points, always taking a toll on the body here. I think I was trying to explain to one of my friends who doesn't play Ultimate how an Ultimate tournament works, where you come out and play 7 games in the span of, well, here 3 days. It's pretty insane in your body, where you don't see that a lot in other sports. So Happy Campers pulling down to Swamp Donkey. Swamp Donkey still looking for their first point now. Disc moved up the field to number 17, Vandermeer. Oh, and a bobble by Bernard there. Him unable to grab that from the short pass from Lindsay Vandermeer. Nate Lamb to pick up the disc now for Happy Campers. 2 cutters, Tessa Kenning coming under, 1 going deep there. Kenning with the disc now, throws to nobody because her cutter was adjusting her cut as she let the disc go. So here we go, Swamp Donkey back on offense, trying once again, to march it down 70 yards and get a goal. So Bernard starting with the disc. Gets an outlet to the middle of the field. That's number 11, Deschamps. She has a high stall count, finally gets it out to cross the field, and then squirrely pass, but it's made, and there's a contact or a foul call on play here. Number 37, Josh Vandermeer, making the call. So it plays back in. Bernard with the disc now in the middle of the field. A flip up to, I don't think anybody's coming up with that note. So a flip to, no one really knew it was coming except Bernard.
Yeah, and almost the help on that catch as well. Both of the Swamp Donkey players going for that one, but unfortunately just fell right beneath both of their hands.
And now, there's a call on the play. So Lamb with the disc. Looks like there's a pick on McConnell's defender here. Arkell Wiley, she called the pick as McConnell was streaking across the field for Lamb. She makes the same cut, but Lamb able to hit it this time on the break side. McConnell with the disc now on the far sideline. She's looking to her bail now. And there's a pick or contact call on the play on the bails here. There was 3 of them really close to one another on the left-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, you can see both of these teams have started to get a little bit more congested on this field as well in these last couple points.
The long ones forcing everyone to try and do too much all at once, but McConnell's still streaking around the field and getting open at will. She hits a number 33 there. That's Bergen. She getting open as well. Back to McConnell from Perina. McConnell, a backhand break around, a great throw. Reeled in. Some 23, Graham Hill with the disc now. He fakes back inside. Back to the middle of the field, Perina now. looking into the end zone, but McConnell has it. She throws one up and over Nate Lamb's head, but he's able to reel it in before he runs out of room at the back of the end zone.
There we see now, again, Happy Campers fully in control of this game. Obviously a very different story from their power pool game with Swamp Donkey yesterday, able to readjust, and you want to see the top teams do that. They have a close game once, and they've clearly come out here, made some very good readjustments, and are now up 7-0 in this game, and it's only been about 30 minutes so far as well, so a very quick first half.
So yeah, I mean, you obviously we want to see, and it looks like a timeout here, unless the rules have changed and we're playing to 13. I think it is a timeout. Each team getting 2 timeouts per half, so that would make sense. Burn one before you get to the half point here. Happy Campers, like we said, fully in control of this. Still 2 double zeros on your on the scoreboard there for Swamp Donkey, looking for that first goal still.
Yeah, we'll see if they can generate something out of this, and sometimes it really is just the momentum that you need to generate for your team. Unfortunately, at this point, they have a very big mountain to climb, but not impossible to climb those. We've seen big comebacks in Ultimate before. It is a game of swings and momentum, so not impossible. You never want to count a team out, but right now, definitely a lot of work for them to do.
Yeah, we saw yesterday in the third live stream game between Gulls and Boys and Fable from Vancouver. Fable able to pull themselves out of a hole in the second half. Really, like you said, Becky, a game of runs and swings, and they were able to get 5-1 run going to put them back in the game and make it really exciting at the end. It's going to be tough for Swamp Donkey to do the same thing here because they have a slightly bigger hole to march out of, but it's, yeah, like you said, definitely possible. Lots of game time left.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing to realize as well, is that there is so much time left.
Yeah, so lots of time, lots of throws. Got to tighten the screws a little bit here from Swamp Donkey. Happy Campers, happy to just keep stoking their fire and keep it easy. So again, I'll give you a quick reminder before the poll comes up here. We are still looking for a player of the game. So if you're watching from home, and we want you to pick who the fan player of the game is using the hashtag CUC Surrey, and let us know who your vote for the fan player of the game should be, and we'll go and gift them a pair of Layout Ultimate gloves. Brought to you by, obviously, Layout Ultimate Gloves, the official glove sponsor of Ultimate Canada. And Dustin Olender is pulling for Happy Campers there.
And of course, if you do not get in a vote in time, and if there are no votes, then it'll be up to Lucas and I to make that decision. And I'm not sure if we really need to have that decision in our hands.
Yeah, definitely. So Swamp Donkey making it look a little bit better now. And as I say that, Feely throws a disc out to So. We finally get the Swamp Donkeys on the board.
And you can hear the crowd as well, Lucas, absolutely going wild for this Swamp Donkey team. We have a lot of teams in buys right now who are watching this game, clearly cheering for what is the underdog right now and erupting on that point.
And sorry, I got the name wrong on the goal there. It was Brianne Reinheimer who got the goal. The number 5 looked like a number 9 from all the way over here. So, yeah, like you said, we have the crowd on the underdog's side. They're trying to get the Mexican wave going here and soak themselves up, keep themselves warm. It's been a weird morning thus far. We've had all kinds of weather at this tournament. On Thursday, smoke and cloud and cold, and then yesterday, less smoke, more sun, kind of warm, and this morning we have wind, rain, and winter. So
it is very cold here right now. I think it's about 14 or 15 degrees, so really if you'd come straight out of winter, this wouldn't feel cold, but coming from what's been a very warm summer, especially in here in BC, and as you can see with all the wildfires that we've had, a very hot summer, and it feels very cold right now.
Yeah, definitely. I'm shaking my booties over here. So for the second time in the game, we're going to have Swamp Donkey pulling the disc. And Happy Camper is looking to keep this streak going with Howlett to Saunders. Saunders fakes backhands in the middle of the field, has a player going deep for him. He looks it off, though. That same player has just turned around. Perina coming under for the disc now. He has it in his hands. He fakes the deep throw. Kenning comes under instead. She's looking around now for a bail. Flips it up the field to Weir. Weir fakes McConnell off. McConnell heads back to the stack, but Weir turns around and It is a goal. Howlett getting rid of the spike there without the confirmation of a goal from the observers. Bold move, but it turns out in his favor.
It's interesting to see the way that Happy Campers is no longer really running on to celebrate these points either. As soon as that was scored, they're already walking towards the sideline. They're up 8-1 here in this game. I totally understand that it is hard to keep that energy and momentum going, and that could be something that Swamp Donkeys should look to take advantage of in the second half. But right now, 8-1, Campers leading.
Yeah, you're right there, Becky. I think it's hard to be the team leading by this much and still get excited by every point because it feels a little bit awkward if you're like, okay, well, we're winning by a lot. Let's not really party on it. But at the same time, that can also be, like you said, devastating if Swamp Donkeys is able to pull that momentum onto their side and get their team fired up so that they can watch themselves build it up. But going into half here, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes, but don't go anywhere. Oh, well, welcome back. For those of you guys who stuck around and watched our little halftime show here, that was, I think it's Quest from Quebec, put on a little dance party for us here. It looked way too coordinated for anybody else to join, so I think everybody was just taking a chill pill and not joining. But pretty awesome action from a halftime show. We didn't even have to pay for that. That's brilliant.
It was pretty awesome, actually, and definitely a good way to get themselves warm between watching this second half as well. And during the halftime, we did have a couple nominations here for Player of the Game. Pat Frisbee, a nomination for him. Sean Bernard, another one for him out of Swamp Donkey. And then Nate Lamb, nomination for him. So one apiece for them. We're definitely going to need somebody to second one of those if we're going to choose a winner. But for now, back to the second half here.
Yeah, and a mountain to climb for Swamp Donkey. Getting a chance here to start an offense in the second half, but still definitely a mountain to climb. So, but thank you to those guys who picked a player of the game thus far, and we want to see those tweets still coming from you.
Yeah, we love it when you interact with us, being able to answer your questions and just respond to any thoughts you have. Always good to be able to do that with the second half now back underway.
So Swamp Donkey coming down in a horizontal look now in their offense. It's number 6 of the disc goes Reinheimer. Centers it to Feely. Feely up the middle of the field. Collected now by Reinheimer again. Reinheimer blocked away, but it floated up, but nobody really realized it was doing so. But number 4 there, Christy Thompson, who streaks deep with nobody picking the disc up for her. So she's going to hang out deep as Smith picks up the disc, and she comes right back under for a big yard gain. Fakes up the field, centers the disc to Breedel. Breedel hits a backhand on the inside shot to 22, Jessica Neffen. And Breedel again shoots it up the field and brought down by number 4, Christy Thompson.
Thompson, a great grab, extending there with some pressure defense on her back as well. Clearly not too worried about that. Made it look very easy to go up for that one. Happy Campers getting a break right away here out of halftime. Still looking very much loose, in control, and taking advantage of another mistake here by Swamp Donkey.
Yeah, I'm not a bookie, but if I were to set some odds, they're getting pretty high for a win on Happy Camper side here. Like you said, a break coming straight out of half. That's a bit demoralizing for Swamp Donkey here, unfortunately. But they're looking probably now to end their CUC run on a high note and play some tough ultimate here. Obviously, they still have a bronze medal game if they choose to play at the end of this game, and that's always something to work for. You want to go home with some hardware.
Yeah, that bronze medal game will be at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. It won't be live streamed, but it will be on the showcase field. So if anyone is headed out here to Surrey, there is a beer garden that will be open and available for people to come in, hang out, and watch that game at 2:30.
And I do believe that beer garden is serving some of my favorite beer from Vancouver here, Strange Fellows. They do a great job. Their brewery's out on Clark Drive in Vancouver. And, oh, man, Strange Fellows Talisman is my favorite pale ale. It's a great beer if you haven't tried it.
Great shout out to one of our sponsors here, Lucas.
Accidental shout out. Great job, me. Okay, so Swamp Donkey now with the disc. Looking into no cuts, moving upfield, so a bail throw, and just bouncing out of the hands of Jeff Sill there. Giving Happy Campers not far to go to get another break in a row here. So Perrin will pick the disc up. Perina, sorry. And he throws it just too far for Kenning to be able to chase down. Kenning making a great cut to the break side there, but throw is just a bit too far.
Yeah, Tessa Kenning wide open, and we've seen again these teams, especially teams out of British Columbia, do love to run to that break side offense. Definitely something that they're very comfortable with. That throw just a bit too far.
And a second scuba turnover for this game here.
But this time looks like there may be a call, just an injury call, though, on the field, as Swamp Donkey will get a sub in here for Alex Chan.
So still a turnover, because I don't believe that Chan was in with the disc. No, so it's still a turnover, and Happy Campers will have the disc. Again, within 5 or so yards to get into the end zone. Perina to pick up the disc. And the crowd getting into it as well, but a throw into coverage is blocked away by number 79, Bernard there.
Yeah, the crowd there cheering for the, when you say upside, or when I say upside, you say down, cheering for the hammer shot, I think, to the end zone, looking for excitement here. But that's excitement enough for me there, Lucas. That big D coming in on the near side of the end zone to give Swamp Donkeys the disc back.
Bernard getting high and on. Oh, great grab here by number 30, I think. 37 centers it across here to 50. That's Wiley with the disc. She hits Vandermeer in the middle of the field. Back to Bernard, who got our big D we just saw. He looks at 3 cutters cutting to the same place. Finally, outlet to Sill. Sill throws a big backhand up the field and brought down by 17, Lindsay Vandermeer, putting Swamp Donkey's second point on the board, and the crowd erupting with it.
Yeah, the crowd definitely just want to see a good game here, and that was great play there from Swamp Donkeys. You kind of wonder, we talked about this a bit yesterday, but where plays like that have been the rest of the game. When a team is able to bust out such great execution, you have to wonder a little bit if that's just a little maybe nerves in the start of the semifinal, not quite ready from their warm-up, but now coming out here, a great play, good shot up there into the end zone.
Yeah, great backhand to air that out for the receiver. Vandermeer doing a good job of keeping her eyes on it and reeling it in. So it looks like you have a couple of wife and husband combos here. We have Brianne Reinheimer and Nathan Reinheimer on Swamp Donkey. And we have Lindsay Vandermeer who caught that goal, and Josh Vandermeer. So I don't know if they're brother and sister or husband and wife. That's I don't know them, so I don't know. And on the other side, I don't think we have any. No, it doesn't look like we have any couples. It looks like a bunch of single people on Happy Campers.
Well, that we know of.
As far as I know, from the last names on our sheet here. So Swamp Donkey pulling the disc down now. Looks like it might sail out of bounds. No, it hangs on tight. Colby Smith to center the disc to Saunders. Back to Smith. Smith looking at a 3-3-1 zone. Centers the disc back to Saunders. Smith with it again. He throws a flick that's going to be a bit high, but Hamilton, 6 foot plus, able to reel that in easily. Centers the disc now to Saunders. Still staying with that zone defense is Swamp Donkey. Disc now centered to number 38. Let's match in. Cross to Smith. Smith. McConnell now. McConnell fakes upfield. Looking for the backhand around. She gets it. To Howlett for loss of yards. That's all right. They still have the possession. Cross to Saunders. Saunders onto the sideline for Hamilton. Hamilton to Howlett. Howlett fakes. Smith wasn't paying attention to him, so centers it instead to Saunders. Saunders to Machin. Machin now hits Smith, and they're off to the races. McConnell breaking out. Back to Smith. McConnell streaking up. Instead hit Howlett with the disc in the center of the field. Saunders back to Howlett. Now Howlett throws it straight backhand to Hamilton, and great movement, quick movement for the goal there by Happy Campers.
We saw a different defensive look there from Swamp Donkey as well, coming down in the zone, trying to change things up, and we haven't really seen that from them for the majority of this game, so it's good to be able to see Happy Campers not phased by a different set of defense, having played person for the majority of this game. They stayed patient, they worked it all the way up the field, and like you said there, off to the races as soon as they got that last break through the wall to Smith.
Yeah, lots of patience. Great job by McConnell there to, I think she had one she faked off where she was about to throw it into a poach D, so great job to holster that and not give the disc away after all that patient movement.
And Happy Campers now as well, only 5 points away from making the finals. Of course, the finals will be today here in wonderful cold British Columbia, Surrey, BC here, but they'll be on at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on the live stream, so we will be streaming that. Tilda and Mastodon currently facing off in the other Masters semifinal. Don't have a score update for you on that one, but the winner of these two games will definitely be headed to that one later at 4:30 p.m.
So Riley Breedall to pull the disc for Happy Campers. I have a funny tweet I'll relay to you after this point regarding him, but Swamp Donkey now with the disc. No-look pass back to the receiver there now in the hands of Nick Chung. Nick looks around into the person defense. Hits a short pass back to Sill. Sill up the line. Brought down by Josh Vandermeer. He's stuck on that sideline too. Finally centers it to Lindsay Sill. Lindsay Sill airs it out over. There's a streaking Swamp Donkey, number 80 here. Nick Ching trying to bail them out, but unable to catch it. So Lamb will pick it up for Happy Campers. Unleashes a big flick deep. And it's reeled in by 33. Bergen, who dishes. Or was she in there?
No, a quick dish there to the end zone gets the goals here for Campers. And what a visionary shot there from Nathan Lamb as well. We've got about 3 or 4 nominations for him for player of the game at this point, and I can see exactly why. Absolutely great shot, put into space across the field to an open receiver.
Yeah, just no worries. Trusting the receiver, throwing that big throw. And there's no real wind here, so nothing to compete with this morning. And we haven't really seen, shockingly, we haven't seen too many big throws like that with no wind to compete with. So I will, I'll read so actually, speaking of Nathan Lamb, he's the one who tweeted at me. So I'm not really sure if he's watching the live stream and playing in it. That's pretty impressive if he is. But he's asking me, tell us more about why you're glad that Riley Breedall is playing Masters. Well, Nate, let me tell you, it's because he makes the rest of us look bad on defense, okay? And it's good that he's playing in a different division, so now the rest of us can look like we actually know what we're doing. Riley's a ferocious defender. He would always be, like I said, the oldest player on our team last year. He would always be the first person charging down the field on defense, hunting his own pole down, so making the rest of us look bad. So that's why I'm glad he's playing Masters.
Fair enough, Lucas. We got another tweet telling us that Swamp Donkey actually has 4 husband and wife duos as well. We got Sean Bernard and Maisie Monroe, Nathan and Brianne Reinheimer, Jeff and Lindsay Sill, and Josh and Lindsay Vandermeer as well. So lots of love on the field here today.
Lots of love, absolutely. So Swamp Donkey with all their love, ready to play some offense here. Flood play from a side stack, unable to be completed as Nick Ching tries to pull that out of his shoelaces. Unable to.
That one just blading to the ground the entire time, unfortunately.
So Howlett will pick it up for Happy Campers here. Centers the disc. It's number 45, David Galuskin. Back to Howlett now. Galuskin again going 1-2 with Howlett. Howlett again going up the line, getting the disc back from him. Howlett looking for Galuskin again, who goes up in the line in turn, but instead it's aired out across the field. Brought down by 22 Jessica Neffen, who hits unshakily number 14 Scott Craig there for the goal for Happy Campers, and you heard maybe the crowd going a bit of a ooh.
And I think that is the definition of threading the needle on that pass as well. Such a tight angle, tight ability to get low and make that shot through 2 defenders as well. Very impressive throw here from Happy Campers.
So fully in control still. Only 2 points from the Swamp Donkeys. We have, or is it 3 points? Sorry. No, yeah, it is 2 points, and they're still looking to make their adjustments now before they head into their next game potentially. Like we said, there's going to be the bronze medal game on this field, but we're not going to be streaming it, unfortunately. But you will be able to, if you come down, you can come check it out. And come to our sponsors tent, VC. Come get some of their gear. Check them out. We're going to have beer from Strange Fellows. They're here as well. Shout out to Vancouver Ultimate League as well for helping organize this. Quick shout out to all the volunteers who come out and they love Ultimate so much. They just want to spend their whole day here helping out. Thanks to Ultimate Canada for having us be able to broadcast this. And I think it's sportscanada.tv as well for producing and putting this up online for you guys at home to be able to watch. So lots of love to be spread around, not just on the field, but to all our sponsors and volunteers and everybody else here. And as I say that, we have a pull from Dustin Olender into the Swamp Donkeys' hands. Number 1, we haven't seen him play yet. Ryan Prescott has the disc, left-handed player, throws it up the line. And another left-handed player throws a flick deep, but Olender with a backwards dunk block is how I could describe that. So Happy Campers with the disc in their hand again. Center to Machin. Machin now to Hill. Back to Machin, who hits Saunders on the far side of the field. Saunders looking for an undercut. Gets it in Smith. Smith, high release over the top of his defender. A fake on a hammer here. Back to Smith. Smith directing traffic with his left hand, throwing the disc with his right. Olender gets the disc on the near sideline here. He's holding the disc and a cut up the line from 23 Graham Hill, who finally, there's a little bit of discussion on the field. No, so the Swamp Donkey player is going to take back their pick call and allow Saunders to collect a goal.
I think just deciding there that maybe wasn't going to get a play on the disc, even if there was a pick on the play, wasn't going to be able to get a hand to that one. Saunders had quite a bit of separation to the near side of the end zone, and now Happy Campers are only 2 points away from winning this game, and we're at about exactly the hour mark in this one as well.
So we've had a couple of streams yesterday and today with quick games. We saw 2 games yesterday that went in almost under an hour, and this game as well, fast and furious. So a little bit of yeah, it's just unfortunate since you had mentioned the power pool game was so close, and then this game just maybe, I mean, that's always difficult in any game you play in a tournament, beating the same team or playing the same team twice, that's what I wanted to say, is always difficult.
Yeah, it looks like Happy Campers definitely learnt from whatever made that game close and were able to come out here and readjust. I do think maybe the weather playing a bit of a factor as well. We've seen a few drops. It is a wet disc out there, and Swamp Donkey unfortunately coming out on more of those sides of those mistakes than Happy Campers today.
Yeah, and you know what helps with a wet disc is playing with gloves, especially gloves brought to you by Layout Gloves. So we're still looking for our fan player of the game as we get back into the action here. Swamp Donkey centering the disc. I think that's Feely with the disc now. He's looking up into the field at high release, but Patrick Frisbee realizing what was going to happen and making the block.
Just want to shout out that that is the best last name we have ever seen here, especially at CUC's Patrick Frisbee.
Yeah, last name Frisbee, first name throws it. As we have a left-handed throw from Riley Breedle, finds Ian Hamilton in the end zone, and Happy Campers just strolling on through this one.
So Happy Campers leading 14-2 here. It is game point for them. They can look to break to close this one out. Obviously, break's not a problem for them in this game, so we'll see what they can accomplish on this one. Swamp Donkey will look to extend it and maybe try and learn a few things in these last few points if they can extend it. Getting a little bit of confidence and the energy to get themselves even a break on the board would be a good thing for them going into the bronze medal game.
Definitely. And we're getting a crowd chant for the MVP here as well, so I don't know what they're yelling about.
That was actually their teammate showing up with 2 boxes of pizza, Lucas. So the team over there, Zen out of Toronto, pretty happy to see their food arriving here at the fields.
An MVP for sure. Okay, Nathan Lamb, how are you watching this game and tweeting at me at the same time? Did you give the?
It is possible that there's 2 Nathan Lambs, although he is Nathan Lamb 19, wearing number 19 on the field as well. So we'll have to call him out on that one, I think, at the end of this game, Lucas.
Okay, all right. That was getting me a bit confused there, but Swamp Donkey with the disc now. Centering the disc to Bernard. Bernard unleashes a flick deep. Looks like it's going to connect. Olander just out of his reach. So number 43 coming down with that, Matt Deschamps. He throws the flick around to 17. Lindsay Vandermeer collecting, I think that's her second goal of the game here for Swamp Donkey, putting themselves 11 points back.
So at this point as well, and I went and wrote in 11 because we just said 11 points there. Not 14-11, it is 14-3 as I just corrected there. But at this point, Swamp Donkey would have quite the mountain to climb. They'd have to break every single point from here on out, and not really enough time anymore to do so, with about 25 minutes or so remaining on the clock. And Happy Campers, I'm sure we're going to see here an easy hold, Lucas, for the win.
I would expect the same, Becky. I don't think we're getting too many changes here.
I would like to call out that on most of these nominations for Nate Lamb for Player of the Game, the tweet seems to be saying Nate Lamb is a feminist, which is always exciting and awesome to hear, but I would like curious as to why it is a multiple different people tweeting us with the same sentence, the same words there. So I think some conspiracy or something going on with our viewers at home, but definitely right now Nate Lamb very much so in the lead for Player of the Game.
And I had a tweet. I was trying to, because somebody mentioned that we do have some love on the Happy Campers team. It's not reflected in the last names on our rosters here. So I'll find that tweet after and let you guys know. But Happy Campers in a horizontal setup here. Mark is broken to McConnell. McConnell center of the field to Kenning, to Perina. Perina now with the disc, looks for an outlet in Smith. He gets it. Smith throws a scuba over the top to McConnell, easily collected by her. She throws it back in around to Frisbee. Frisbee with the disc, centers it to a not looking 23 there. That was Graham Hill, who wasn't really paying attention that the disc was about to come to him, and Perina able to snag it because he was stopping because of the pick, but if that had hit the ground, it was a turnover. So McConnell now wide open as per usual. She has the disc on the far sideline looking up the field for Perina. Perina not open, so she throws the inside out flick to Smith. Smith a backhand around to Kenning, and that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Campers are the first semifinal winner here for the Mixed Masters Division at CUC 2018.
Yeah, Happy Campers making it look so easy and taking this one 15-3 in about exactly an hour as well. So credit to them. I think Nate Lamb going to be our MVP for this one. Had the most tweets. Also had a great game here when we saw him on the field making those great deep shots and visionary shots as well. Stay tuned to the @CUC_tweet account to try and get you some live tweet updates from the other Masters semifinal. I'll run over there after we're done here. But for now, Happy Campers into the semifinal at 4:30.
Yeah, and an easy one going up 5-0 or 6-0, I believe, before, or no, yeah, it was 7-0 before Swamp Donkey was able to get their first point. So yeah, an easy win for them. And yeah, we'll be back this afternoon at 1:30.
We're going to be back with a mixed division semifinal at 12:35 p.m. Pacific time. We'll have the Bunny Thugs out of Saskatoon coming in here for you, facing off in an all-prairie matchup against Pretty Boys and Handsome Girls out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. That one's going to be, for sure, going to be a barn burner for you.
So we'll see you here at 12:35. Don't go anywhere.